Major parties have had a shock in the last couple of elections. First, when Zali Steggall beat Tony Abbott in the blue ribbon Liberal seat of Warringah, and then the wave of independence in 2022. Phil Scott is an independent candidate. The last time I spoke to you in this studio, you were working with Voices of the Top End. Why are you running for Solomon?
I'm running for Solomon because Darwin and Palmerston deserve better than being taken for granted by the major parties. Many of us are feeling this way. Many of us are feeling forgotten and left out. And we feel that contract between the parties and the people has been broken. It's been broken in the interests of corporate Australia and political donors, and many of the issues and the challenges that we're dealing with here, including cost of living, health, community health and safety, an economy that's stagnating, and corruption in politics. We draw the link between the major parties and these outcomes because they're the only ones who've been in power for decades. So when I'm speaking to people at markets, and we've done a lot of deep community listening for a couple of years now, we're understanding this sense of frustration in community and wanting better representation.
Now, in the August NT election, for the first time we saw a community independent for many years win a seat in NT Parliament, Justine Davis. She had a huge volunteer group, an army of people supporting her. I understand quite a few of the people who supported her are supporting you. The vast bulk of voters in Darwin and Palmerston voted for the CLP. Are they really going to vote for a community independent in a federal election?
Well, they may have voted for the CLP, but it wasn't a vast bulk. And in fact, many of them didn't have a community independent option. So that's where people's frustrations are lying. And the sense of relief that I'm getting from folks who are coming up to us at the markets and saying, an independent, somebody to vote for, is actually bringing choice back into our democracy. But it's also allowing us to have conversations that are being suppressed by the major parties because actually they don't have much of an interest in doing a lot of and taking a lot of action on many of these issues that we're caring about. So we're here to give choice, but we're also here to give positive solutions and shake things up a bit.
The cost of living, every time the ABC asks people, every time they're surveyed, this is the issue that's front of mind across the country. It feels especially acute here. What used to be a $150 shop at a big Colesworth supermarket, $200, $250, $300. Same stuff, just more money. Country Liberals candidate Lisa Bayliss is worried that cheese has become a luxury item, $10 a block. I'm worried about that too. I'm a big cheese eater. What's causing prices to rise? This is what she told us yesterday.
The money's got to come from somewhere. Somebody has to pay. And I think the community, on one hand, we're asking to cut our budget because we can't afford things like cheese. And on the other hand, we're inflating our public service to provide efficiencies because I'm not seeing them happening at all.
Phil Scott, why is everything so expensive and what can any federal politician actually do about it?
They can do a lot if they want to do something about it. The problem is that the major parties are taking donations from the very big businesses and the very corporations that are causing the problem in the first place. So our groceries, our electricity bills, our fuel bills aren't through the roof because of government spending. These are through the roof because of government corruption. And there is a link here between big businesses funding these political parties and their lack of motivation and their lack of incentive to do anything about what's causing these price hikes in the first place. And we as community independents, grounded in community, from an extraordinary diversity of members of our community actually coming together and organising and saying, you know what, we're going to take back our democracy for ourselves. We're going to organise. We're going to come up with the sorts of policy positions that are actually going to make an impact on these things. And